It's that time again. It's time to make the soap of the month. And for the month of February, we're making a 3-layered soap in pink and red and cream with a delightful romantic scent. So come check it out. Hey friends, it's Barbara Sue at Kowalski Mountain and welcome back to our channel. That's right, it's time to make the soap of the month. And the disadvantage to the Soap of the Month Club and making my soap outside is that it's cold. And I'm making this soap early so that it's fully cured for my Soap of the Month recipients. So I'm doing this in January. So I got a slightly warm day and I'm making the soap today. Now during my Soap of the Month, I'm experimenting with different soaping techniques with the end goal that eventually I'll sell my soaps and that you can join the Soap of the Month Club. For the first time ever, I'm going to make a 3-layered soap with 3 different colors. Now I haven't tried this before, so I'm learning as I go. And I'm going to be using natural clays for the colors. Now normally when you would mix your colors, you would start with your lightest and you would work your way up. But I want my red to be on the bottom. So I'm going to kind of switch it up and we'll see how that goes. Now for today's fragrance, I have a combination of lemongrass, lavender, and cedarwood to create a delightful romantic scent, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. Right now my solid oils are on the fire and they are melting, and as soon as that's done, we're gonna get going. Now today's soap is a goat's milk soap, and it has a combination of shea butter, coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, and castor oil as my oils. I've already weighed out my olive oil. So we need to weigh out the avocado oil. I need 72 grams of avocado oil. Now I'm going to tear that scale out, and now we're going to add some castor oil. And I need 60 grams of castor oil. All right, let me go see how my solid oils are doing. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my liquid oils to my solid oils, and I'm going to set this to the side. Now at this point, I'm ready to start using the lye. So I need to wear my safety gear. So if you're new to soap making, you want to be sure to watch some safety videos, which I have some links in the description box, all about safe lye handling. When you first start making cold press soap, it's very intimidating because of lye. But I want to reassure you that it's really not so scary at all. You want to be sure to follow the safety guidelines. I wear goggles and gloves, long sleeve shirts, long pants, and shoes, and I also work in a well-ventilated area. And as long as I'm following the safety guidelines, soap making's not scary at all. We're going to go ahead and measure out our lye, and I buy my lye in bulk to get the best price. Now I've teared out my scale, and I need 163 grams of lye. I've already measured out my milk. And normally when you're working with milk, you can see that my milk is frozen, and I do that to protect the milk from scorching. Now as we're using the lye, we're going to add just a little bit at a time, and we're going to start stirring. Now normally when I work with lye, I always use a water bath, but it's quite cool out here today, and I don't want this mixture to get too cold, so I'm going to really carefully watch this. I do have an ice bath on standby if I need it. Now I'm going to add my lye in just little amounts at a time. And I'm going to keep stirring until all of the lye is dissolved. Now when you're working with lye and milk, it's hard to tell because you can't see through the milk. But we're going to look for signs. Right now I can see little particles of lye on the side of my bowl. So I know that I'm not dissolved. My milk is also not fully melted, so I know we're not anywhere near ready. But we keep stirring. Now I've got some lye up there on my spatula, trying to get that off. Now my oils are holding their temperature good. We're about 105 and still climbing. Let's check our we're at 112. This is very good. We're at a very good temperature range. They're very close together. That's really good. Now I'm going to keep stirring until I'm confident that my lye is fully dissolved. And I'm looking for signs of lye on the side of my bowl. And normally I would check the temperature to see if it's rising, but this is not working out. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my oil to my lye, and I'm going to pour it over my spatula to help with the bubbles in the oil. Now using my stick blender, I'm going to bring this to a light trace. Now trace has to do with the thickness of the soap. This is called saponification, and it's the magic of soap making when lye and oil become soap. Now we're looking for a thickness. And when it comes to trace, we'll start to see the lines hold their shape on the top of the soap. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Now I'm going to add my canyl clay to my fragrance oils. And for my red and my pink, I'm going to start measuring with my Moroccan clay, and I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon. My colored clays, I'm going to do 1.5 teaspoons, and I should have done this before my soap. Now I'm going to divide my soap into 3 containers. I want to start with my red because I want my red on the bottom of my soap. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, and I've added my clay to my fragrance oils. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Now at this point I'm just going to mix with my spatula. I don't want to accelerate trace any more than it already is. I should have mixed the clays before. So we're scrambling at this point. Now I'm using clays because I want to use natural ingredients in my soaps. And we're going to go ahead and add this to my mold. We're going to spread those out. All right, we're going to mix up the Moroccan clay. I'm not liking that color already. It's not changing my soap color too much, so that's making me a little bit happier. And we're going to gently add this to the soap. I'm not swirling these, so I don't want the layers to mix together. I want them to lay on top of each other. So we're going to go ahead and tap that down. And we have one color left, which is the pink. Now, another reason I'm using clays in my soap is because I'm experimenting with methods of getting my fragrance oils to last longer. So I use essential oils in my soap, and I want those natural fragrances to last longer, and they seem to dissipate more quickly than I'd like. So I'm experimenting with methods of getting those fragrances to last. Now this pink is not very pink. And we're going to layer this in. Now, one of the hardest parts of soap making for me is shaping the top. And I'm trying to make my soaps a little bit taller. And filling the entire mold. Now I have a little bit of clay here that fell on the table, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top for a little bit of color, and I'm going to call that good. Now this is going to go set up for a couple of days, and then we'll come back and we'll cut the soap. Well, friends, it's been a couple of days since I made the Valentine 3-layered soap, and it's time to cut it. Now I have to tell you, I was so nervous when I was making this soap because when I went to measure the lye, I discovered a big mistake. I wear reading glasses, and I can't wear my reading glasses and my safety goggles at the same time. So I have to give up one or the other. And I noticed that my scale was set to the wrong measurement. It was set to kilograms, not grams. Well, I had a moment of panic when I was on film there that my oils were measured wrong, and I had no way to know if they were or not. Well, I corrected the measurement of the lye, and I moved forward. And it was pretty cold outside that day. It was about between 40 and 50 degrees. And so, even though my soap had come to trace, it wasn't thickening faster. And so I was convinced that this soap was going to be a failure. And I didn't even know if it would thicken up in the mold. But thankfully it did. And now we're ready to find out, is my Valentine Soap of the Month a success or a failure? Now this was the extra. And I just put it in a mold not to waste it. This is just the pink layer. So this one's making me feel pretty good that we're gonna be okay. Now the soap hardened, so I'm feeling okay about that. I'm so nervous. I'm in some soaping groups, and I get to read all the stories about the people who have failed soap experiences. And so far I really haven't, which makes me all the more nervous. Okay, here we go. Well, I can see 2 layers of soap there. I don't see 3. And I do have to say that I really wanted a red and a pink, and I didn't get that result. You can actually see very faintly the 3 layers. This circle in the middle is gel phase, and I try to avoid gel phase with my soaps because goat milk soap can burn. But it can actually add some really nice color to a soap, so I don't get too stressed about it. Kind of weird in this one because we were looking for such a distinctive look. Let's cut another one. So you can see the layers very faintly. I need to switch to a knife. I made my soap tall this time. Like, I filled my mold all the way to the top, and we're having trouble there. Oh, goodness. Now you can see that gel phase is going deeper and deeper into the soap, making a bigger circle. That just means it was heating up. While my soap is not a fail, thank goodness it's not a loss because soap making supplies are not cheap. It didn't come out exactly the way I wanted. So at least it's usable. I've had several people ask me how they can join the Soap of the Month Club, and I'm not selling my soap as of yet. So one of the things that I'm doing as part of my Soap of the Month is I'm working on my techniques. I'm exploring different options like layering the colors and using the clays to develop different colors. And I'm kind of seeing what works and what doesn't. The other thing that I'm really working on is that my soaps, this smells lovely right now, but I'm having trouble with my soaps holding on to their scent. And that's a problem when you use essential oils rather than fragrance oils. Now, I want to keep my soaps as natural as I can, so I don't want to stop using essential oils, but I need to learn how to anchor these scents a little bit better. So until I work out some of the kinks, I'm not taking on any new Soap of the Month members, but the people in my family get to be my guinea pigs, and they get to see all of my soap as I develop it. So I do like the scent, but it didn't come out near as pretty as I wanted, with a red and like a beige and then a pink layer, which they're technically here, you just can't see it, and that is not red. I'm sorry, that's not red. Another month of Soap of the Month. I'll keep practicing my craft to develop it even better. Now, I hope you all had a very happy Valentine's Day. As always, we really appreciate you watching our videos, especially to the very end. Thank you so much for being a part of the Kowalski Mountain family. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, hit that button. We'd love for you to join us. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.